For centuries, Eurocentric scholars had rejected the idea that the mighty Egyptian empire was in fact created and maintained by black Africans. The concept that Western civilization was the product of non-white intelligence, imagination, technology, and spirituality was unacceptable, both psychologically and politically. A brilliant Senegalese scholar and scientist would shake, and many say topple, the very foundation of that conventional wisdom.
Whatever, just call him Teddy Strings.
His name was Cheikh Anta Diop. His research was brought to the attention of the English-speaking world through the efforts of his longtime colleagues and friends.
I was wondering why his books had never been published in the United States. He said there was no publisher's interest in his books. It took me 7 years to interest the publisher in the books of Cheikh Anta Diop.
Diop's disciples refer to him as the Pharaoh of the Upper Nile.
If he could get the pigment from some of the mummies, he could prove the African origin. All the rest of the conferees came just to disagree, and when it was all over, they had to admit these two men came prepared to prove their case. At that point, they began to close the door to the research of Cheikh Anta Diop. Akhenaten. He thought so much of life, he would not crush a flower. He outlawed warfare. Spirituality was a part of the total life of the people. Before the coming of the Europeans, the African was very religious. The step pyramid was originally built with a temple at the top where you can go up and pray. This relates not just to the glorification of a pharaoh, but the spiritual outpouring of a people. This is what made the civilization of the Nile so great.
At the same time that Egypt was in its 24th dynasty, Europe was just emerging from its pre-literate past. For centuries, Eurocentric scholars had rejected the idea that the mighty Egyptian empire was in fact created and maintained by black Africans.
If he could get the pigment from some of the mummies, he could prove the African origins.